A pleasant morning to each and everyone here, especially to our subject teacher for literacy development, Dr. Opingo. Good morning, ma'am. We are the reporters from group number 2, and in this very time, we are expected to discuss about the 4 important topics. Number 1 is the teacher's role in promoting book knowledge. Second, teacher's role in promoting knowledge of letter and words. Third, teacher's role in promoting knowledge of comprehension. And lastly, planning the literacy program. Group members are the following: Catadman, Pestaño, Mendaros, Hukdong, Sandoy Cabardo, Ehada, and Almedilla. Let's proceed with the first topic, which is the teacher's role in promoting book knowledge, to be reported by Mendaros. Promoting book knowledge. So, the teachers are known as a real-life superheroes, as in they are the cause, they are the support system of each student, especially of what we have become today. So in a way, they are passionate to transmit the message, especially to individual learners. Everyone has an inborn right to have an access to quality education, and most importantly, obtaining an acceptable level of literacy and numeracy can greatly enhance learners' achievement. So when we are young, when we were still a toddler, we were sent to a preschool. There we are taught so many lessons because we are a rapid learner at that time. Frankly speaking, if we are literate, we can survive the trial and hardships we encounter. Literacy and numeracy skills are crucial because workplace numeracy, literacy, and employability skills are often used in conjunction with one another. Strategies for understanding and responding to information texts. So, read. Learning to read is necessary for students, more importantly, to understand what they are reading. To be able to do this effectively, they need to access text effectively. It explores some skills such as scanning and summarizing books that teachers can help their students develop in order to access different kinds of information, text quickly across a range of subjects. So back then, we are not that modernized. Instead of technology, we use hard copy books. We often use books also, to the point that we don't read the books anymore. Instead, we scan for the pictures inside it. So much emphasis has been given on equipping students with the right skills and competencies in order for them to gain competitive edge. So in this topic, we will explore what it means to be literate and how important it is in enabling adults and children to access and make sense of many dimensions of world. Print works. An example of printed material is books, newspapers, magazines, flip chart, and I have in here a calendar. This is a printed material. So how effective it is, as it allows the reading process to take. It helps us understand that print conveys a message. Knowledge about book orientation and directionality of print, and distinction between sentences, words, and letters. And lastly, knowledge of the alphabetic system and the difference between letters and words. Now let us proceed with the book. Why dig deeper about book knowledge? So the knowledge that are gained from books are more firm, reliable, and wide variety of possibilities to achieve and imagine rather than direct personal experiences. Students have to be actively engaged in the process of information seeking for research assignments and decision making. Allow me to share with you the directions, components, and mechanics of printed materials. So as stated by Clay on 1993, prints are important for emergent and early reading and writing. As we can reminisce our childhood, we are always given a book and a pencil. Why? So that we can recognize the letters and numbers on it.
Next is
The concept of text is understanding that the print relays a message. For instance, I have in here a calendar. Here we have the word April, but now we are already on May. So let's flip one page, then May 12. So we understood that today is May 12, but I don't know if when are we going to have this report, but this is made on May 12. The concept of book includes book handling, or the proper handling of the book. In early childhood, why is it important to teach children the proper handling of book? Well, it lessens the scratches, paper tears, and dog ear pages. Now, here is the front cover and this is the back cover. This one is the book title and the author. And here is the blurb, a short description of the book. Since we are talking about promoting book knowledge in early childhood, I have also prepared this children's book, or the Head Start. Here we have the title, front cover, back cover, and the short description of the book. A gentle reminder that through exposure to a shared book reading in early childhood and through modeled, shared, and guided reading in the early years, children develop concepts of print, and that is the time that they are confident that the print relays a message, and we should always be alert to help them when they seek for our attention about the interpretation of the message. Thank you so much for listening to my report. The next reporter is Alona Hukdung.
good day. So for today, we tackled about letter knowledge. Letter knowledge is enable a child to recognize the letters of the alphabet and to know the names and the sounds of the skills. First is seeing the alphabet sound together, starting at different letters. Next is use activities that help children recognize both uppercase and so next is begin to encourage an association between letter names and the sounds that they make. So next is explore the alphabet with refrigerator magnet. The last one is create the alphabet with building blocks or form letters with Play-Doh. So as you can observe what I've said earlier, so para maka-recognize ang mga bata is the activities kay mas dali man gud makaton ang bata kay nana siya sa ilang memories like pareha ning refrigerator magnets. So nakabantay ka sa mga bata nga hilig sila magkuha anang magnet sa ref. So need sila maka-learn sa mga letters kay mas ara man ma-process ilang development, ilang skills, ara nila ma-process ilang diha sila makakuha nga kanang ay pareha ning blocks building blocks. Kabantay mo sa mga bata karon nga mo nilang mga mabet nga duwaan nga na di pa pareha na to sa una, di ba? Makuan dito sa mga blocks nga na ma-form nimo. So pareha nang kanang math. Makakuan mo ng math sa bata nga na mga letters, numbers and all. So mo na siya ang nindot para sa mga bata. One is phonological awareness. Phonological awareness is the ability to hear and identify the various sounds in spoken words. There are 4 types to develop these skills. First is read lots of nursery rhymes and rhyming picture books together. Encourage your child to anticipate rhyme as you read together. So next, play clumping and rhyming games like Miss Mary Mac and Pat a Cake. So next is sing silly songs by changing the first sound in some of the word. For example, we sing bingle bells, bingle all the way. Or if you're chumpy and you chow it, chump your hand. So next is play games and encourage children to identify words that begin with a specific letter sound. For example, say spy with a little I, a color that starts with R. Next is listening comprehension. Listening comprehension is the ability to understand the meaning of words heard and to relate to them in the same way. A child with good listening comprehension has a wide vocabulary and a growing understanding of the world around him. To develop listening comprehension skills, there are 5 types. So first, read aloud to your children daily. Read books that are in line with your child's interest, so he begins to realize that there is a benefit to learning to read. So next, encourage even young children to interact with books. So next is attend story time at the library, of course. Next is let your child see you enjoying books. Di kay nga magluya-luya ka so wala ra ang bata, walay makatunan, di ba? Sad kaayo ang bata kay wala gid siya ma-learn if magluya-luya ka nga magbasa sa iyang story. One is make read aloud time an enjoyable shared time. Here are some picture book lists to get you started. So kani dapat yun inatong buhaton sa itong mga bata kay baba mo ang mga bata if magluya-luya ang teacher, luya pud ang bata, walay makatunan, wala sila ma-bring home nga learnings. So kita mga teacher, soon to be teacher, or kita mga ate sa itong mga mangod, if magkuhan kitag storytelling or sa itong mga babies and sa itong mga igsuon, sa itong mga pagmangkon, so kita dapat ta energetic sa ta makadagbasa, dili magibog ang atong gibasahan, especially bata. Ang bata manggod is need siya na to lingawon para na siya makatunan sa atong gibasa, dili ta magkapoy-kapoy, dili magluya, ato i-enjoy. Next one is motivation to read. Motivation to read is a child's eagerness and willingness to read. So, sa inyo palang nakuha ng willingness. Sa willingness palang daan, dapat magbas kita ang motivate sa mga bata, di ba? Bisag, dili ta kay ba aning story, dapat yun nato sa motivate, di na nato kaya zay. Dapat atong og motivation ang atong pagbasa, as what I've said earlier sa katong listen comprehension. You can see some report. There are four encourage your child. There are 4 tips. 4 tips to encourage your child. First is read both fiction and non-fiction book to your child. Next is as you read, ask open-ended questions. For example, you asked, what do you think is going to happen when we turn the page, diba? Or why did the boy go outside? And next one is use everyday life experiences to build your child vocabulary. And the last one is encourage imaginative play and storytelling. One is how print awareness develop. My God, unsa ka ha ang development sa print awareness. So as we research this, kids who are read to on a regular basis naturally pick up many of the skills by following the examples of the people around them. Marites na kong classmates, pamina mo na akitay important reminder sa print awareness. So, a child print awareness develop when those close to him point out letters and words in text found in the child's environment. It also develops through playing word games. When you turn the page of the book and when you run your finger under the line of text as you read.
So now, let's proceed to teachers' role in promoting knowledge of letters and words. Letters and knowledge of words. From a strategic point of view, the child's rapid recognition of a letter is based on the knowledge that the letter could not be one of the other 25 letters of the alphabet. Through past experiences with print language, the brain acquires a networking system for organizing visual informations based on strategies of comparison. In order to identify any letter, the child must see what the alternatives to that letter are. It is important to teach children knowledge because children's knowledge of a letter names and shapes is a strong predictor of their success in learning to read. Knowing letter names is strongly related to children's ability to remember the forms of written words and their ability to treat words as sequences of letters. Next, how will they recognize? So children construct a personal classification system that is organized around the differences and similarities that they perceive in the printed word. This system of organized information has generative value for children. They learn strategies of comparison for linking known information to new items in reading. A letter can only exist through its relationship to another letter, sounds, or word. Thus, an important feature of visual perception is the role of interrelationship and the use of strategies of comparison for analyzing these connections. So, strategies of comparison is wherein they will identify the significant differences and similarities of such letter. So next, there are 5 ways to emphasize the letter learning. So first, the name of the letter, followed by the way the letter looks, the sound the letter makes, the feel of the letter in the mouth, and the movement of the letter as it is written. Also, to help your kids learn the letter names and order, sing alphabet songs as you sing. Say the letter name slowly so your children hear each individual name and learn to not group letters together like L, M, N, and O, P. Here is why. Through many reading and writing experiences, children learn how to integrate visual knowledge with meaning and structure cues. Letter and word building activities enable children to develop flexible management systems for promoting fast responding to printed language.
So how do I do it? So there are different variety of materials can be used to help children develop print knowledge. So some example include the following. So first is the colorful magnetic letters. So through these materials, it can be very helpful to the children in order for them to begin to internalize the shape and familiarize the letters. So mas madali nilang ma-recognize ang alphabetical letter, also ang paggamit sa kaning materials. So next is the letter cards. So when we say letter cards, so kanang for example sa class kay mag-provide ta og flashcards. So these flashcards is contain the alphabetical letter from A to Z. So through this activity, it can be very helpful for children to recognize the different letters. So for example, the flashcard that na atong gipakita sa students kay nag-start sa letter A. So kanang ato silang ipa-repeat. So for example, when we musulti ko nga this is letter A, so dapat ang bata musuon sad sila kung unsay gisulti sa teacher. So next is the sandpaper letters. So this activity is one of the Maria Montessori's materials. So this kind of activity or materials is all about to trace the letters, and it helps also sa mga bata na maka-learn on how the sounds they hear are written. So next is salt trace. So this activity can help motivating and exciting for kids. It's because it helps the kids to practice forming letters in the salt trays. So it develops and it provides a wonderful sensory experience to kids to practice writing the letters of the alphabet. So kanang sa kaninga activity kay ipalat na to ng students nga mag-play sang salt trays. So kanang it's very helpful to the children to engage these kinds of activity in order for them to familiarize also. So next is the chalkboards, stand letters, dry erase board. So makatabang sad ni siya sa bata. For example, naatay pa activity, then we let them write their answer on their chalkboard. So example, mag-flashcards, ato i-flash ang kanang flashcards contains the letter. So kanang ato silang ipasuwat sa ilaha ang unsa nga letter ang gi-flash sa flashcards sa didto sa ilahang chalkboard. So next is the magnetic letters provide children with an easy to manipulate form that calls attention to letter. So next is the ways of learning letters. So first, build fast visual processing systems, building sensory systems, the name of the letters, the way the letters looks, the sound of the letters makes, the feel of the letter in the mouth, the movement of the letter is it written, a word associated with the letter, the anchor activates association, and the way the letter looks embedded within a word. So there are a lot of ways on how to learn the letters. So through visual, so through flashcards, kanang it is very helpful for us to familiarize the letters through the name of the letters. For example, when we say apple, so kanang masabta na jud nato nga it start with letter A. So for the next is the way the letter looks. So kung unsa example kay kanang fruits nga guava, so masuday sa atong hunahuna kung unsa siya nga letter, so ma-visualize nato ba. So next is kanang the sounds the letter makes. So for example, when we say snake, so our S, so S, like this. So when we say letter B, P, Okay, so when we say letter C, k, k. Okay, so there are a lot of ways on how to learn the letters. So kanang that we can share to the children also, because kanang through this kind of ways of learning the letters, kanang it is very helpful for the children in order for them to recognize, to visualize, to how to read or how to write the letters.
So important note, so teachers take an active role in promoting children's knowledge of letter and words through meaningful reading and writing experiences. So kanang kita nga mga teacher ang in charge to promote or how to teach the proper way in order for them to familiarize or recognize kanang what we teach to them. So like for example, the letters and the words, so we need to kanang teach them step by step in order for them to learn and also to familiarize para dili nila malimtan. So it is guided by curriculum resources. Teachers offer planned focus, individualized instructions, promoting letter knowledge as they simultaneously support development in other areas. So, teachers help children too. So first, recognize and name the upper and lowercase letters of the alphabet. So, through teaching them, kanang they are kanang able to know how to read the letter A, B, C, hangtod sa Z, so they can kanang familiarize the alphabetical letters. So second is associate letter names and symbols with their sounds. So kanang through the sounds they can also kanang familiarize what letter indicate to that sound. So like for example, we kanang mukanta taog kanang A is for apple, apple. B is for ball, ball. C is for cat, cat. D is for dog, dog. Okay, so through singing, kanang they can recognize kanang what is the sounds that indicates the letters. So next is understand that letter symbols are grouped together in a particular order to form words. So kanang the alphabetical letter also kanang it is very helpful for them, because kanang if we are going to kanang tell them the kanang can you form the letter hello from the alphabetical letter, so they can easily find the letter through alphabetical. So kanang maka-form din sila ba, like for example hi, so they can find the letter H and letter I to form a word from the alphabetical letter. So it is also kanang experiment with writing letters of the alphabet in the context of writing for a purpose. So next,
teacher's role in promoting knowledge of comprehension. The learners will be able to develop the skill of locating, evaluating, and organizing, retaining what is read. The learner will be able to review content and relate what they have learned to what they already know. What is the role of a teacher in promoting knowledge of comprehension by teachers? The teachers focuses on the students' attention on what they are to learn. Help students in think actively as they read. Encourage students to monitor their comprehension. Help students to review content and relate what they have learned to what they already know. Ang teachers nag-focus sa attention sa mga students kung unsa ang ilang nakatunan. ug i-help ang mga students sa paghunahuna nga active samtang sila nagbasa. Gi-encourage ang mga students pag-monitor sa ilang pagsabot. They also help sa mga students sa review content and relate sa ilang nakatunan dito sa unsay ila nang nahibaw-an. Activities and process for use with narrative text. Examples of specific procedure is retelling. Retelling involves having students orally reconstruct a story that they have read. Retelling requires stories to active their knowledge of how stories work and apply it of new reading. As part of retelling, students engage in ordering and summarizing information and in making inference. The teacher can use retelling, comprehend a story, then use this information to help students develop a deeper understanding of what they have read. Comprehension. To teach is the first understanding purpose, subject matter, structures, and ideas within and out inside the discipline. Teachers need to understand what they teach and when possible to understand in any several ways. Comprehension of purpose is very important. Comprehension is very important sa mga teachers kay mao ang magpasabot sa purpose sa mga subject matter, structures ug mga ideas sa sulod o gawas sa mga discipline. Kinahanglan masabtan sa mga teachers ang ilang gitudlo. Og kung mahimo as possible sabton ni sa daghan nga pamaagi.
So, as a teacher, we must engage in teaching to achieve the following educational purposes. So, the educational purposes, namely, to help students gain literacy, to enable students to use and enjoy their learning experiences, to enhance students' responsibility to become caring people, to teach students to believe and respect others, and to contribute to the well-being of their community, and to give students the opportunity to learn how to record and discover new information, to help students develop broader understanding of new information, and to help students develop the skills and values that they need to function in a free and just society by SUMA 1992. So, by letting our learners to develop and practice these different educational purposes, we are giving our learners the opportunities to become the better version of themselves and becoming the responsible individuals in their respective community. Before reading, so before we're going to read, we must motivate students through activities that may increase their interests like book talks, dramatic readings, or display of art related to the text. So before ta magbasa, kinahanglan ato silang ilang attention i-gain sa nato. So we have to usay mo kwantag mga book talks, mga dramatic readings, kanang makakat sa ilang attention. So making the text relevant to students in some way. So active students' background knowledge is important to the context of the text by discussing what students will read and what they already know about its topic and about the text organization. So students with some help from the teacher may establish a purpose for reading, identify and discuss the different words, phrases, and concepts in the text, and preview the text by surveying the title, illustrations, and a usual text structure to make prediction about its context. So, before ta mo read, so ang bata, i-gain ang attention sa bata. So, ang bata is maka-picturize na siya before makadungog or makakuan sa atong gibasa na story ba or something para ang bata is manapito sila point of view sa mahitabo. Mo na siya pangbuhaton sapat sa teacher before mo reading sa any text or the story. So, as a teacher, we have to think and talk and write about topic of the text. So, as a teacher, we think critically outside the box. We have to kinabitong ang story is muhatag tag laing definition na dali mo maka-catch up sa bata kay ang learners maka-learn siya in different ways. Kay nayuban sa fast learner na slow learner. So dapat as a teacher we have the different ways on passing the knowledge to the learners. Is during the reading. So, during the reading, teachers will remind students to use comprehension strategies as they read to monitor their attention on main ideas and important views in the text. The teacher must focus attention on parts in the text that require students to make inferences. So, nagbasa na ka. So, as a teacher, lisod jud igay ng attention sa bata. Labaw na if mga kindergarten siya or something, mga lower grades, kay ilang attention is padung dito, padung dire. So, we have to be on think jud siya og mga way nga makatch bito ni mga attention sa bata. So, during the reading, so, muhatag ang mga ideas to para lang ma-connect sa main topic which is the text that you have read. So maka-focus ka sa attention sa bata is mabalik bitaw nimo is ma-focus nimo like magbasa ka dapat dako imong tingog nga with facial expression nga maka-gain jud ang attention sa bata, not just kanang may magmila kara. So ang bata dili jud makakuan nga hay kibok ang bata lisod kaayo igay ng ilang attention. So dapat active ka sa pagbasa. So call on students sa sumanawag ka nga uy, kuan, unsa may pami nang kanang usab pa man mo ni human ani asa pa dulang ang story. So na siya murag silbi siya ang mag-predict kung unsa mahitabo sa sunod nga story. So call on students summary section or events. Encourage students to return any predictions that before reading to see if there's confirmed the text. So mao na to ilang mutawag ka, ikaw kuan, unsa may paminaw nimo na unsa mahitabo sa bata ni abot niya didto inana siya. So students with some help from the teacher, kung ang bata kay mali ma-guide and mali siya sa teacher during the reading, will determine and summarize important ideas and supportive details. So, makuan sa bata if kanang gikan pa lang pagsugod sa mga important details, small details to important details, maganamanam siya ma-restore sa hunahuna sa bata, dili siya mawala lang nga pasudri sa pikasdungan, palapo sa pikasdunggan. So ma-remain siya sa hunahuna sa bata. So make connections between among important ideas and text. So maghimo kag mga important ideas or predictions baro na masumpay siya between nga ang story is maura siya ang padulngan. So students maupod ang students can also integrate and formulate new ideas with existing background knowledge. So ang bata if makuha niya ang story from the beginning until the end, so makakonclude siya og kanang ending predictions unsay mahitabo sa end sa story without knowing na wala pa siya upa ka nahuman nga nagbasa nimo imo siya ikat niya mga naka. So para nimo based from the beginning of the story until sa diri nga time unsay mo prediction sa mahitabo sa ending. So ang students especially active ka makarag-teach na ang student is maka-learn maka-predict siya kay based from the sequence of the events. So ask themselves question, sumoto ang bata, nigpangutanan nimo sumakana ang bata, so pagsugod, nagkuan si ana, so makapangutana ang bata, unsa kay ending, unsa jud kay kanang gikan sa sequence pa lang, sumoto ang bata, ana nadayon, so nana silay point of view, kung unsa jud ang mahitabo sa ending sa story. So after the reading, so pagkahuman sana before the reading, during the reading, and now we are in the after reading. So after reading, teacher will guide discussion of the readers or the reading. So the teacher will ask students and recall and tell their own words in important parts of the text. So para jud ma-actively participated ang bata. So ighuman sa storytelling na to, no? Human sa story. Ato silang pangutanon kung unsa jud ang asayin mo paminaw nimo asa man jud ang kanang main part or asa jud ang nitatak sa imo na unsa jud ang main story na makaana bata na si kuan didto na matatak silang hunahuna. So it is also the teacher will offer students the opportunities to respond in the reading in different various ways, including through writing, dramatic play, music, readers theater, videos, debate, or pantomime. So para sa una na especially mga elementary days na inana na after sa makabasa tag story or makakita ta og videos presentation sa atong teacher is we were going to be grouped by 5 or 3 or individual na ato i-demonstrate or i-reenact the videos that we have watched in the previous lesson. So like usahay kay through writing, through essays, mga pila ka words, dramatic play like ikaw ang protagonist, antagonist, then the sequence of the story or the plot, tapos or the music, you have to write music, or even if you don't write music, you have to select music that can connect to the story. So sometimes reader's theater, so mag theater or like player po na siya, videos or mag-make videos na video presentation na ma-connect ra Japon sa kuan kung silbigi reenact nimo ang story. So debate or pantomime. So debate, so need na siya to arguing people, no? So mag-debate mo kung unsa jud ang nahitabo sa story. So after all the readings, students with some help of the teacher, kung na siya guys a teacher, students can evaluate and discuss the ideas encountered in the text. So mas ma-digest na sa hunahuna sa bata, mag-digest niya mo, makakonclude na dayon o maka-come up ang bata og ideas nga about sa text ngay mong gibasa. And then students can apply and extend ideas to other texts and real life situation. So after ma-digest sa bata ang story, after niya ma-digest sa hunahuna, ma-digest siya na parehato kakuan na, so ma-apply siya in real life. So apply siya in real life, like kung makasabot lang jud ang bata sa story nga imong gibasa, ang bata is willing siya ma-apply or maadto niya sa line nga story ang story nga which is connected ra siya. So students will also can do summarization of what was read by retelling the main ideas and discuss ideas or further reading. So after that, mo ask kag summarization sa bata or maka-read retelling story, like maana siya na kanang ang bata is makasunod siya sa sequence, like bonin siya naitabo ang mga main, dili mawala sa bata ang mga main ideas ng mga main events sa story, which is kung tarong lang kapag retell sa story nga motatak sa hunahuna sa bata. So maka-discuss siya through further reading.
Okay, so next is planning the literacy program. A literacy program contains all the components necessary for the children to master reading and writing. Teaching children how to read and write are two of the hardest feats a teacher will be asked to complete. Having an effective literacy program helps teacher to complete that difficult task effectively. So, what makes man an effective literacy program? So, diba as an adult, we already know how to read and write. Nya, sa una, katong kindergarten pa sada, di ba we are given skills and tools ato mga teachers sa una para makamaster tag reading and writing? Di ba gitudloan ta nila kuan jud para makamaster na jud tag reading and writing. So katong nga skills and tools kay gikan to sa literacy program. A literacy program, as what I have said, contains all the components necessary for us, for the children, to master reading and writing. Yanong gamit makaning literacy program? Syempre, it helps us mga makatabang sa mga bata para mas makadali og master sa reading and writing. However, nasa literacy program nga mas effective kaysa sa uban na program. Like for example, karon nga mga bata are expected to master the same skills as what we did katong kindergarten pata, pero at an earlier age na ilaha karon. Why man? Di ba kabantay mo sa mga bata karon nga bisag 3 years old, bisag 2 years old, 4 years old, grabe na kag nahibaw-an. Like nagani uban mas nakahibaw pas mga wala na to nahibaw-an ron. So that's why naagi uban nga program nga mas effective jud kaysa sa uban. Kay karon na pod kay naa sa dabay technology maong mas ning enhance pa jud ang mga minds sa mga bata. And also, teaching children daw how to read and write are two of the hardest feats a teacher will be asked to complete. Why? Because as what Miss Opengo said, we need to exaggerate everything. Kay para di sad lagi laayon ang mga bata. We need to think outside the box kay para maganahan gid sila makaton para di sila buringan nga wan makaingon niya ng mga bata nga ay kabati sad ani ni mamo tudlo oy boring makaayo di ko maminaw ani niya oy. So dapat ato yung una-unaon nga at kanang malingaw sila at the same time nakakaton pod sila makakaton sila mo basa ug mosuwat. So having an effective literacy program helps teachers complete that difficult task effectively.
So gamit jud kaayo ning literacy program.
As what I have said earlier nga daghan jud kayong literacy program and daghan sa kay mga components gigamit ang mga maestra. Like for example, ang ilang mga components nga gigamit kay based sa ilang experience. Pero bisag daghan kay ng literacy programs and daghan kay components naa jud nay 6 basic components in a literacy program. So an effective literacy program should always encompasses these 6 basic components, which are phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary, fluency, comprehension, and writing. So these basic components kay Sam ani kay na-discuss sa group 1, which is ni Miss Cable. But let me discuss this deeply para mas makasabot pa jud ta. Okay, so the first component of the literacy program is phonemic awareness. So phonemic awareness is the ability to hear that a spoken word is made up of a series of discrete sound. So kani kuno sa phonemic awareness, mao kuno ni diri ang ability sa mga bata nga ikaw as a tita, nga ikaw as a teacher nagpakita kag word niya. Kay baw siya nga kana nga word imong gipakita nag-consist na og different sounds. Like for example sa word nga cat. So, ang bata ana aware siya nga kana sa word nga cat nag-consist na og word sound nga og mao na siya sa phonemic awareness. So karon, unsaon man nato pagpahibaw sa mga bata? Unsaon man nato para ang mga bata na ay phonemic awareness?
So I have here a video para mahibaw-an nato kung unsaon. Let's watch this.
May tatlong aktibidad na maaari nating gawin. Ang pagtuturo nga po pala nito ay maaaring gamitan ng larawan, ngunit hindi larawan ng mga letra. Number 1. Pagtutulan. Ituro natin sa kanila na ang mga salita ay may mga magkakatulad na tunog. Ito ay maaaring matagpuan sa unahan, sa gitna, o sa hulihang bahagi ng salita. Maaari tayong gumawa ng laro ng salita. Halimbawa, ang larong tawagin na lang nating magkatunog. Maaaring magkaroon ng iba't ibang kategorya. Maaaring sa kategoryang unahan, gitna, hulihan, o kaya halo-halo kung magaling na sa larong ito. Maaaring sabihin ng magulang, nag-iisip ako ng aso. Maaring sumagot ang bata, ang sabi mo po ay aso, ako nag-iisip ng apa. Ang aso at apa ay parehong nagsisimula sa A. Siyempre, sasagot din ang magulang. Maaari niyang sabihin na, ang sabi mo ba ay apa? Ako, nag-iisip ng alimango. Muli, ang apa at alimango ay parehong nagsisimula sa tunog na A. At marami pang ibang laro na maaaring gawin upang matuto ang ating mga anak na ang mga salita ay may magkakatulad na tunog. Number 2. Pagsasama-sama ng tunog. Magagawa natin ito sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng mga tunog at sasabihin ng bata ang salita. Maaring sabihin ng magulang, ano ang nais kong sabihin? A, aw. A, aw. At sasabihin ng bata na ang ibig mo bang sabihin ay araw? Kung tama siya, maaari mong sabihin mahusay at nagbigay muli ng isa pang halimbawa. Number 3. Paghahati-hati. Maaari mong itanong, ano-anong tunog ang bumubuo sa salitang atis? At ang bata ang magsasabi ng tunog. A, T, I, S. At yan po ang mga paraan upang magkaroon ng phonemic awareness ang ating anak.
Okay, so mauto siya. Those are the 3 ways para ang at mga bata, mga pag-umangkon nato, ato mga estudyante pohon na ay phonemic awareness. So, by the help of those activities, makatabang to sa mga bata nga kanang kung magpakita gitag words nila, makahibaw na sila nga kana nga words nag-consist of sounds niya. Kahibaw na sad sila mo manipulate sa mga words. We must always remember ha nga by teaching those activities, dapat dili boringan ang mga bata. Mao gina dapat ang atong isud sa hunahuna since children na sila. Kay dili gina sila boringan gina sila if boring sa kay kamusulti. So, we must think outside the box. So, mao na siya sa phonemic awareness. Okay, so next is phonemic awareness is an important component of a good literacy program for a few reasons. First, teaching phonemic awareness allows for greater printed word recognition. So, kani kuno mong importante jud kani phonemic awareness sa good literacy program kay ang sa pag-teach nato og phonemic awareness diha daghag ma-recognize ang mga bata og nga mga word. As what I have said earlier, daghan silang mahibaw-an nga mga word, mga sound, mga ana. Second, teaching phonemic awareness teaches children to identify, understand, and manipulate sounds in spoken word. So, kanipod ko ng phonemic awareness, maka-teach sa mga children nga kanang maka-identify sila nga, ay, mo din ay sound anang naguna, ay, mo din ay sound sa ikaduha. Then, makasabot pud sila nga, ay, kung anong din na siya. Nya, also, maka-manipulate sila, like for example, sa word nga cat. So, maka-manipulate sila nga, ilang kunhing ilisan ang first word og N, and ang cat, mahimo ng mat. Inanay-nana ba, maka-manipulate sila sa word na. Dayon, teaching phonemic awareness pod helps teachers to recognize if students will have trouble with reading and spelling. So, muni, kita as a tita, as a teacher pod, kanang tungod sa kaning sa pag-teach nato sa phonemic awareness, makakahibaw ta nga, ay kani day bata mo kuan pa jud ni, kuwang pa jud ni tagad ato pagtuduan pag gid ni nako maayo di ay kani day bata kay kinahanglan jud na nako ni siyang kuanan pa jud kay para mas makahibaw pag gid siya, ay kani day bata kana mag naglisod pag gid ni siya, naglisod pa din ni siya basa mong ako jud ni siyang kuanon muna siya gamit sa ding phonemic awareness sa literacy program, gamit jud kaayo. So, the second components of a good literacy program is phonics instruction. So, phonics instruction is teaching children that specific sounds belong to a specific letters and letter patterns. So, kaning phonics instruction pod helps children recognize and associate the sound of the letters and letter patterns in a word they read. So, diri sa phonics instruction daw, di ba ka-remember mo sa una katong bata pata, di ba? Kanang sa una kindergarten pa sa tatudluan mata sa atong mga maestrano nga sa letter A ang sound ana niya kay ah. Sa letter B kay b. Sa letter C k. Di ba? Mo ana gina mga maestra nato sa una, tan-awa ang akong baba kung giunsa nako pagsulti kana nga letra. Na itudlo din ang letter D, mo ana di siya d. Daw mag lagpot na lang gayong laway sa itong mga maestra sa una para lang makatuntaan na. So, mo ni sa phonics instruction nga dire kita as a teacher, as a tita or unsa pa na diha magtudlo sa mga bata nga kana nga letter na siya specific nga sound nya makaingon ato sa tudluan sila nga, like for example di ba sa C ug sa K kay pari-pariha man sila sound, right? So diha tudluan nato sila aron makabalo sila nga ay ang C ug K pariha ra di ay ug kaning sound di ay nya, like for example sa kana sang sa C ug H, kung kanang sa C ug H kay di ba kung isagol na sila kay embasa man nila kay ch. So nya sa T ug H kay the. So diha sa there is a phonics instruction, diha nato sila tudluan sa mga sounds aron ang mga bata aware sila nga ay kana day nga letter kay mo din ay sound niya di ay kana day sila kung i-combine mo din ay sound niya di ay kana day siya kay same ra din na silang sound muna siya sa phonics instruction. Atong tudluan ang mga bata nga kana nga specific na letter naas na siya specific na sound. so phonics instruction is a vital part of literacy program for some reason. First, phonics instruction helps children decode words by recognizing the sound that accompany letter and letter patterns. So, kani kanong phonics instruction gamit jud kay vital part yun siya sa literacy program kay alangan makatabang man siya sa mga bata sa pag-decode sa words niya. Maka-recognize pod sila nga ay kana day siya nga letter day kay kung isa ikuan din na siya sa ang C ug H day kay ang basa din niya kay ch. So yun ana mong gamit jud kay siya sa literacy program. Second is phonics instruction increases fluency by helping children read more accurately and with ease. So third is phonics instruction helps with reading comprehension. When a word is pronounced correctly, it improves the understanding of the word. Yes, as kay kung magtudlo magutas mga bata, makatabang na nila sa ilang reading comprehension, mas makasabot sila sa word, makasabot sila sa word, makasabot sila sa letter, mas mukuan ang ilang reading comprehension kay makasabot man sila nga ay mo din ni siya kuan ani, mo din ni siya basa ay mo din ni pasabot ani di ay mo na siyang gamit yung kaning phonics instruction sa literacy program. And lastly, phonics instruction helps children increase their everyday vocabulary. If children feel comfortable in the correctness of the word that they are saying, they will use it more often. So mao na gamit yun kayo ning phonics instruction sa literacy program kay makatabang man siya sa mga bata nga kanang daghan kislag mga vocabulary, daghan kislag mahibawan nga mga new words every day. So mao na siya sa phonics instruction. Okay, so the third component of good literacy program is vocabulary. Vocabulary can be defined as the knowledge of words and their meanings. The purpose of teaching vocabulary is for children to understand words and to use them to acquire and convey meaning. Okay, so unsa man daw ni mga vocabulary? So we are all familiar of it, right? So ang kanito kuno vocabulary mo daw ni ato ang knowledge sa mga words and mga meaning ato nga words. So sa mga bata pod nganong importante man nga tudluan na to ang mga bata jud og sa mga vocabulary. It is because children need to have a rich vocabulary for them to comprehend and construct words correctly. Like kada dili sila marong grammar. Then by the use of kanang vocabulary, ang mga bata daghang mahibaw-an nga kanang mga words unya tungod ana fluent na sila sa pagsulti. So unsa may atong buhaton para ang mga bata daghag ma-learn nga new vocabulary. Like for example, di ba kay nung mo sa una pabasahon ta sa atong mga teacher katong bata pasad ta. So tungod ana kana sa sige nato binasa ato nga mga words, di ba natay mahibaw-an nga mga new vocabulary ang tungod ato di ba nagamit nato karon tungod ato sa gipambabasa sa atong mga maestra sa una, di ba karon fluent na ta mosulti, dili na tarong grammar. So ingon ana po nato pagtudlo ang mga bata aron sa daghan sa silang ma-learn nga new vocabulary. So if mag-focus sa daw tag vocabulary, useful jud daw kuno kaini sa pag-develop sa ilang knowledge ug skill sa language and literacy. Kay tungod anang magdaghan na sila daw mahibaw-an nga kanang vocabulary, fluent na sila moingon, confident na sila mosulti, and that helps a good literacy program. So next is vocabulary is an important component in a successful literacy program because first, vocabulary knowledge increases comprehension, which is vital to a child's ability to do well in school. So basta naagay daghang ko ng vocabulary ug knowledge ang mga bata, maka-help ni na kana mo increase ilang comprehension dayon if mosulti gani sila words or sentences, confident na sila mosulti kay baw man sila nga sakto na nga meaning, kay baw man sila nga maunay meaning ana dayon tungod ana nga confident na sila, syempre ganahan na sila musulod sa eskwelahan, then mo nindot na sila performance. Dayon next is a greater vocabulary increases a child's ability to read and write with fluency. So as what I have said earlier, basta daghan ganig vocabulary ang mga bata, maka-increase na silang ability to read and write. Kaya alangan kay na baya sila dayon tungod ana fluent na sad sila moingon, fluent na sila mosuwat kay kibaw na sila sa meaning, ya tungod ana muna siya nga by this component successful, makatabang din siya sa successful literacy program.
So the next component is fluency.
is a child's ability to effortlessly and correctly read, speak, and write English. Fluency in reading should include consistent speed, accuracy, and the use of proper expression. Fluency can be achieved by using a literacy program that combines phonemic awareness, phonics instruction, and vocabulary. Dili kay pasabot nga fluency, fluent na pudig English. So, ang kaning fluency kay mao ni ang ability sa mga bata nga mustorya og sakto, makabasa og sakto, og makasuwat og sakto. So, kani importante jud kaayo ni as an individual. So, it is very important to a successful literacy program in helping children speak and read fluently. So, as a future educator, it is very important to teach children how to correctly read, how to correctly write, or even how to use words, how to correctly use words. So, in addition to that, fluency is linked directly to comprehension. And once it is achieved, a student can start focusing on the meaning of what they read. So next is comprehension. Is an important component of an effective literacy program for a few reasons. Comprehension is important to success in academic and personal learning. Comprehension is important to becoming a productive member of society. And lastly, comprehension is important in obtaining and maintaining a job and being successful in life. So, nakabantay mo pag elementary na to nga mag-reading comprehension, magawas ta tanan, then pabasahon ta tag sa tagsa, then moduol ta sa teachers, then ikaw man natog basa kay na ay mga questions nga i-follow nga nagpamatuod if naa ba kay nasabtan sa imuhang gibasa. And usap pod, pabasahon ta sa atong teacher, paduolon ta sa ilang lamisa, and then if kanang mispronounce nimo ang word or even kanang kuan gamay lang nga sayop kay i-correct ka sa teacher, then nana sila gradings sa imuhang pagbasa. So importante jud ay kaayo ang pagbasa ug pagsuwat, dili lang sa pagskwela kundi sa trabaho or sa bisan asa nimo nga lakaw. And then kanang sa biodata, if mag-fill up ka, dapat kabaw ka mo basa jud kay naay mga instructions, and also kabaw ka mo suwat kay lain pud kaayo di ta kabaw mo suwat no sa tumpangan. Maong importante jud kaayo ang naay reading and writing comprehension. And last but not the least, writing. Writing is the process of students generating text whether on paper or on a screen. It is an important part of a literacy program. For younger children, writing helps to reinforce phonemic awareness and phonics instructions. And for older children, writing can help children understand the kinds of styles of text they read. Writing about what a child has read helps develop their reading comprehension skills. So, writing and reading strengthen and support each other actively, combining all the other components of a literacy program together. An effective literacy program should encompass all 6 of these components. Each component is a piece of the puzzle that, when assembled together in a coherent way, results in a successful literacy program. And I think that's all our report, and I hope you learned something. Thank you for listening and have a good day.